What?
What's worse than taking a cold shower?
I don't know. I have no idea.
Girl, taking a cold shower when your electricity goes out again.
Again? Isn't that like the third time this week?
Yes.
Oh my gosh. So we're using like a lot of stuff?
Apparently it was cold. Got to turn the heater on.
Right. So you had your heater on and anything else?
No, the heater on and that was it, girl. No iPod, no computer this time. Just the heater and the water heater.
Oh, well, that's not much. So we should call the property management and tell them about it.
Yeah, okay. I'll give him a call.
Okay.
你好，你好，师傅。我们在34楼，现在没有电费。
Wait a minute. 没有电费. You just told the guy that we don't have an electric bill. I think he's going to be a little confused. Okay, what you have to say is 我们这里停电了.
Okay. 我们这里停电了.
That's right. Okay, is he coming?
I don't know.
What did he say?
He said, "Wah." He said, 好.
Okay, sounds like he's on his way then.
可以，谢谢。
So, hi, Kappa. How are you doing today?
我还好。
你还好吗？
你怎么样？
我也还好。
那就好。
Yeah, 还好, by the way, is like, is that I'm very good or it's like I'm pretty good?
It's like I'm alright.
I'm alright. Okay, so today we're going to talk about, what did you think of our little prelude to this episode, by the way?
真是太好笑了。
好笑. Yeah. By the way, everybody, that is my roommate, Regina, who, she does speak some Chinese. A little bit, I'll give her some credit. But she doesn't speak a whole lot of Chinese, and so she usually ends up having these kind of funny things happen to her when she tries to communicate with Chinese people. So today, our real life issue was that the electricity stopped again. And how do you say that in Chinese?
停电。
停电. So 停 is stop.
对。
And 电 is
electricity.
Right. So 停电了, just put that together, and electricity has stopped here.
对。
Has cut off here. Okay, well, let's get into our rapid fire vocab section before we go on too much further.
Dialogue.
喂，您好。
你好，我们这里停电了。
怎么又停电了？
我也不知道，才用了2个电器。
好了好了，马上来了。
Okay, so now we're back, and well, let's look at this dialogue sentence by sentence. Okay, so somebody, their electricity in their apartment has cut out, so they call property management, which is what you do in China. When you have a problem with your apartment, you call the management office.
对。
Okay, and so the person who has a problem says,
我这里停电了。
Okay, so I think this is a really important sentence to use, and the structure is really good too. So, 你好, hello. 我这里停电了. So, what we're saying, the word order is kind of interesting.
对，是的。这里呢就是 here. 我这里I here. 停电了 stopped electricity.
Yeah.
So it's I here stop electricity.
Why do we have to have the l on the end of the sentence?
Well, basically, 了 means something has already been done. Something has happened.
Okay. All right. The word order is different too. In English, we'd say the electricity has stopped here. But here we're saying I here stop electricity, right? So can you say that sentence one more time, just really slowly?
Yep. 我这里停电了.
Okay. 我这里停电了. So the whole sentence once again is 你好,我这里停电了.
That's right.
Right? Okay, so the person who answers the phone at property management says what?
怎么又停电了?
Okay, so does that have any special meaning?
It's just like little sound someone makes, and then here has a question mark behind it. So he's like, yeah, like what happened?
Yeah, sounds like he's kind of annoyed.
Yeah.
Yeah, which they usually are most of the time. So 怎么 means like how, right?
Yeah.
怎么又 So how again, and then we've already had this word 停电了.
Yeah.
怎么又停电了? So how again has the electricity stopped? All right, so then the person who's making the complaint says,
我也不知道.
Okay, so let's look at that. 我也不知道. So 不知道 means what?
Means I don't know.
Okay, so what if you want to say, I know?
知道.
我知道.
我知道.
And if you want to say, I don't know?
我不知道.
Okay, and here, if you want to say, I don't know either, you say.
我也不知道
So 也 by itself means what?
means also.
Also. So here it's like saying, I also don't know. But that's how Chinese people say, I don't know either.
That's right.
我也不知道. And I'm noticing that 也 is right after the subject. I also
don't know.
Yeah, 我也不知道.
才用了两个电器
Okay, 才用了两个电器. Okay, so 才 means what exactly?
A means only.
Only. Okay, so 才 用 is use. 才用两个. Okay, let's look at this for a second. 两个 is two. Now I know that in Chinese you go 一二三四, so two is actually 二. Why here are we saying 两个 instead of 二个?
Oh, that's a very good question. When we count the numbers, that's 1, 2, 3, 4, 10, 20, 30, 100, 200. But when it comes to the number for something, for a like a bottle of water or for
Like
a table,
how much of something I
yeah, how
want.
much of something, so that would be 两 instead of 二. So we say 两本书
Two books.
两瓶水
So two bottles of water.
or 两个人
Two people.
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, so we use 两 instead of 2.
To count how many. So I can't say 二个人, 二本书, 二瓶水. That just doesn't
Well,
sound right,
that's
right?
correct as well, but it just don't sound as good as 两.
Okay, so it's more proper.
Yeah.
To say 两. Okay, so the person in the dialogue says 采用了两个电器. Right. So they said 采用了. Why are we using the 了 here?
Here again, 了 it emphasizes that something has already been done
Okay.
in the past.
Okay. So 采用了两个. So I only used past tense.
Yep.
Okay, so that last part was 采用了两个电器. So 电器. 电 is fourth tone. 器 is also fourth tone.
That's right.
What exactly is 电器?
电器 just means electronic appliances.
Okay. So what would be an what would be a 电器 in Chinese? Like a television set? Is that an electronic appliance?
电视收音机
Okay, 收音机 is what?
radio
Right.
洗衣机
Washing machine.
DVD 机
Okay, so DVD player.
yeah
Microwave.
microwave 对微波炉
Refrigerator.
电冰箱
Okay, so these would all be 电器.
That's right, yeah.
Okay, so the person in dialogue says, I was only using two appliances. Okay, so finally the person at property management says, 好了好了来了.
对
So 好了 is like, okay.
Yeah, like fine.
Do they usually repeat that? Do they say that twice? Would they say 好了好了?
Yeah, like 我们很多时候都会说到很多次，都会说到2次或者是3次。你可以说好了好了，也可以说好好好。
Oh, really?
Yeah.
You can say 好好好.
Yeah, he could also say 好好好。
Oh, okay, yeah, right. I've heard that.
Yeah, you know, like 有时候有人如果问你在这里下车好吗？如果你要坐一个 taxi, 如果你要get off the taxi,
Right.
So the taxi driver says, "Is that okay here? Like, can you get off here?" And you say 好好好。
好好好.
Yeah, instead of just saying 好。
Like say 好 3 times fast in a row. 好好好.
Yeah.
And then they're gonna think that you speak really good Chinese. You speak it so fluently, like a native.
哎，对。
Yeah. You know, actually, just speaking of this as well, I noticed when I first came to China and I had some Chinese friends who were speaking English to me, and they would always say things like, okay. They would say okay like 3 times in a row. And I think I picked up on that habit later on. Like, I now say, okay. You know, like I'd say it a lot. And it almost sounds impatient, but I know it's not. It's just maybe the Chinese habit
Yeah, they would.
translated into English
Yeah,
to repeat
exactly.
words like that. Okay, and then finally, the last thing that the property management guy says is
来了
Láile. So I'm coming.
I'm coming. Yeah.
But, okay, question for you. Maybe this is hard to answer, but he has not arrived yet. But he says, look, 来了. That past tense where you're just saying it shows a completion of action, but the action hasn't happened yet. So why do we need to say 来了?
Well, that's a very good question because if he just said 来, it just sounds so short. It just the whole sentence doesn't sound very complete. So instead of saying 来, you say 来了 to make it sound better.
Okay, so this is not showing its past tense.
No,
it's
it's
just to make it sound more eloquent. Or
Yeah,
whatever.
or you can say, when you say okay, you can say 好, but you can also say 好了.
Somebody told me too. There's a lot of ways to say 好了,好吧,好吗. And somebody told me that or 好的.
Yeah, 好的.
That's another one.
Yeah.
So you could put the or le or ba or ma, and they kind of have different flavors to them. If I say 好吧, it's like saying, oh, okay. Like, I don't really want to do something. Oh, okay. But if I say 好的, it's just like a normal okay. What about 好了?
Normally, when you say 好了, it means I'm finished. I'm done.
Right.
But you can also say 好了. It's like when you say okay, but you're agreeing to something, but
You're expressing some dissatisfaction.
exactly, you're sort of compromising.
Right.
Yourself. So that's 好了. Or you can also say 行了.
Right. Like, okay, 行了. So this guy obviously is not very excited about coming up to the 34th floor and turning on the electricity. 好了, okay, fine. I'm coming.
Yeah, I think he's slightly annoyed.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, so let's listen to our dialogue one more time.
Dialogue.
喂，您好。
你好，我们这里停电了。
怎么又停电了？
我也不知道，才用了2个电器。
好了，马上来了。
And now it's time for Catch My Drift, where we're going to take the vocabulary words and we're going to put them in a slightly different dialogue and see if everybody can understand what we're talking about. So, Catch My Drift.
Catch my drift.
师傅，还要多久才修好啊？
好了，修好了。
我明明只用了空调和冰箱，为什么老是停电呢？
哦，只是配电盒的螺丝松了，没什么大问题。
Okay, so in places that you have lived before in China, have you had this problem of 停电了?
常常都有停电.
Really? Yeah.
所以现在停电时间不是很多，但是再早一点的时候就停电会比较多。
Okay, so like before, your electricity was always going off.
对。
But kind of now it's a little bit better
Yeah,
situation.
是的。
So when your electricity would go out, did you just call them and were they pretty okay about coming to help you out, or were they sometimes pretty annoyed?
大部分时候他们都是不太高兴。
Right. Most of the time they're not very happy.
对。
Actually, when I was working for this one English school, Nova, and they put me up in an apartment, and then it was just like the electricity was stopping no matter if I used like 2 things, then the electricity would cut out. And this is in the winter time, and like when it gets dark at like 5 o'clock. So I would be in my apartment, and everything, lights, TV, everything, heat, totally, I'd be sitting there in pitch blackness. And I was so new to China, so I didn't know what to do. I didn't know about property management. And even if I did, I wouldn't know what to say to them. So later I found that I had a neighbor who was pretty handy with electric stuff. And so I would knock on his door, and hopefully, he was usually home. So, but anyway, hopefully if he was there, he would like get out his little toolbox and come down and fix my fuse. So yeah, but that was my past experience with losing my electricity. Okay, well, so that's all for today's lesson, and until next time, 再见.
再见。
Pronunciation. Please repeat the word or set of words after the beep. After a question is asked, you will hear a short series of beeps. Answer that question with the words you have just rehearsed.
停，停电，停电了。这里，这里停电了。我们这里停电了。
你们出什么问题？
我们这里停电了。 又，怎么又？怎么又停电了？器，电器，用了，才用了，才用了2个，才用了2个电器。
你用了很多电器吗？
才用了2个电器。